What up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Cardinal Red, and we back for some more of that Ali Land boxing talk, people. And today we talking Manny Pacquiao versus Terence Crawford. Is Terence Crawford Manny Pacquiao's secret opponent? Top Rank versus PBC. Long title, ain't it? Alright, y'all. I've been thinking, mulling over this, situation with Pacquiao surrounding his next fight, and just trying to figure out, maybe where he's trying to go with his next opponent. Does he think about retirement, or does he have a secret up his sleeve? And I say that because it's if you think about what's been going on surrounding Bob Arum and what his comments were about him killing the Pacquiao-Crawford fight, and the reasons he gave for why he did not ever pair them up together. And in my opinion, allegedly, in my opinion, I kind of feel like maybe Bob Arum is negotiating with Pacquiao. Maybe Pacquiao asked, for him to tell the truth. And although I don't feel like what he said was the truth, maybe that's what Pacquiao requested, and maybe that's what he feels like the truth is to him. Whether it's really why he never made that fight or not. Maybe to him that's why he actually didn't make that fight. But the video is out there of the truth and why he said he never made the fight. So I'm not going to go against what he actually said the first time and go with what he said the second time after Pacquiao's gone. But with all that being said, I kind of feel like maybe Pacquiao's actually negotiating with Bob now, because there's a dilemma going on. All these guys at PBC want to fight Pacquiao, but there's no money surrounding. Let's say there's 6 fights at PBC Pacquiao can make. Crawford, Spence, Garcia, Porter, and who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. And then there was Broner. And out of those 6 fights, the Broner fight was the only fight to me over there besides the Spence fight. There was pay-per-view ready. It was already pay-per-view ready. Broner comes with a built-in crowd. His crowd will pay for his fights. They like him to the point they will buy his fights. And his crowd is loyal. No matter what AB does, people who like AB are more infatuated with his lifestyle more than they are with his boxing ability. So I feel like the Pac Broner fight was sellable. Personality, is 90% of a fighter. His skill sets and everything are just what you only get to enjoy that 10% of the time. 90% of the time, you're either watching them train or you watching them be themselves. So, fight skill is really only 10% of selling a fighter. And I feel like the problem at PBC is, these guys are popular, but they're popular because they're free. And people are going to have to understand that. I'm not saying all this because I feel like Pacquiao fight one of these young guys and lose. I actually think he would dominate all these guys with the exception of Errol Spence. Even though I think he beat Spence, I just don't see him dominating Spence. I see him dominating Porter, Garcia, not Mikey Garcia, but the other Garcia. Dominated Broner, dominates Thurman. You know, there's not a lot of fight in those guys at PBC. You know, and the guys who I feel like have the real fight skill are not being paired up with the guys who I feel like are not sellable. And that's the reason why a lot of these guys that are not sellable are still popular. That's, you know, the whole old thing that Mayweather started is the reason why a lot of these guys are still popular. You know, it's because they've been paired up with the right fighters to where they don't have a risk of losing. Which almost happened to Keith Thurman, even though he was fighting a C-level fighter, and he's supposed to be an A-level fighter. You actually lost to Josesito Lopez. You lost that fight, if you ask me, because the rounds that you did win were lackluster rounds, and the rounds that Josesito won, he was beating the brakes off of you. It was, I mean, the only thing that I don't know what kept him up. Josesito Lopez was beating the brakes off of him. He was, I want to cuss and say what he was really doing, but he was beating the brakes off of you. So, you know, like I said, man, besides Spence, there are no sellable fights at PBC at the moment. Porter would be a good fight because he's a brawler, but he still loses. He doesn't come with a built-in fan base. And this is the reason I'm bringing this whole Terence Crawford question up. I say, you know, I know I just gave you a mouthful, but with all of that said, is the reason I'm bringing the whole Terence Crawford thing up, because if you think about it, then there are only two guys that are sellable at PBC, and that's Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia, and one of them is about to lose their O. So at that point, one of those guys ain't, you know, the fight is, let's say Mikey Garcia loses to Spence. Even though I like Mikey Garcia, I'm still going to be a fan of Mikey Garcia. A lot of people are going to sink him down a level and say, well, he don't deserve to fight with Pacquiao. Errol Spence does. But the problem with that is Spence has the opportunity to move up. So he doesn't have to fight Pacquiao to gain more popularity. He can just move up and wait. All right, man, I had some camera trouble, but like I said, man, Spence doesn't actually have to fight Pacquiao, man. He could just move up and wait and still find a sellable fight against some of these new up-and-coming guys at 155 pounds, 160 pounds, if he wanted to go up that far. And at that point, it's almost like Crawford is the only other guy who's sellable, you know, and it's a funny little dilemma that if he would have to go back and actually fight Terence Crawford, you know, which I actually feel like in a way that would be good for both companies, because PBC has no pay-per-view sellable guys, and it would put them up on another plateau as far as selling pay-per-views. And Top Rank has nobody left to fight at welterweight worth, you know, paying for on pay-per-view. So, you know, both of these companies at that point would kind of need each other. So, you know, let me know what you guys think about that dilemma, man. It's kind of a strange scenario that's starting to play out here, man. And I saw this coming when Pacquiao joined PBC, just because I noticed that, you know, guys like Thurman, Porter, Danny, they're popular guys, but they're popular when they're free. And they have no record of selling pay-per-views. So I know it's a mouthful, and I hate that the camera cut off like that, so I'm going to have to edit this together. But if you need any boxing gear, man, hit that description box. Leave me a comment. Let me know what y'all think about that whole scenario and this whole topic, man. Hit that like button for me, and please subscribe. If you know any homeless people, man, 1 minute in your life and some leftovers could really change a life, man. You never know who you helping, so give up a minute and save a life, bro. If you ain't got nothing else to talk about, just tell them about boxing. Cardinal Red, Ali Land Boxing Talking. We out of here.